Idris Elba sparked some backlash from the woke mob after his statement started to go viral, where he basically said that he's tired of identifying himself solely by the color of his skin, that he no longer would call himself a black actor. He just wants to be an actor. He doesn't want people to see him, oh, you could be the first black person to do this or do that or do that. He simply wants to be an actor and for people to stop constantly focusing on race all of the time. And he's even doubled down on that after he started to get some criticism, not just from people in the audience, but also from other Hollywood actors like John Boyega. Idris Elba slammed by John Boyega and fans for disavowing the black actor moniker. Boyega and a number of detractors believe Elba should focus on the people who put blacks in a box. This is not my words, this is the title of this article. And indeed, after Idris Elba comes out there and basically starts questioning why the focus is always about racism, because he got asked if he experiences racism. He's like, why do you ask me that? Why do you constantly ask me about that? I don't sit there and talk to my black friends. Hey, did you experience racism today? Did you experience racism today? But for some reason, the media is always wanting to talk to me about that. And then he says, as humans, we're obsessed with race, and that obsession can hinder people's aspirations, hinder people's growth. Racism should be a topic for discussion. It's very real, but from my perspective, it's only as powerful as you allow it to be. I stopped describing myself as a black actor when I realized it put me in a box. We've got to grow. We've got to. Our skin is no more than that. It's just skin. Rant over. I accept that it's part of my journey and be aware in many cases I might be the first to look like me to do a certain thing, and that's good to leave as part of my legacy so that other people, black kids, but also white kids, are able to see that I was a kid who came from this town, ended up doing what I do. It can be done. I didn't become an actor because I didn't see black people doing it and I wanted to change it. I did it because I thought it's a great profession and I could do a good job at it. What's it like to be the first black to do this or that? The same as if I was white. It's the first time for me. I don't want to be the first black. I'm the first Idris Elba. Those comments pissed some people off, including John Boyega. Now, of course, John Boyega is probably upset at the way his career has gone, completely flamed out, not respected by anybody after the debacle that was the Star Wars sequel trilogy, and then some of his movies really not panning out and not being profitable. But he says this in response to someone who agrees with Idris Elba. I think we should fixate on who's typecasting and putting actors in boxes because of this, not on making weird adjustments for them. We continuously focus on what we have to do so they don't do this or that. Very worrying. We black, and that's that. Well, Idris Elba would double down on his sentiments. There isn't a soul on this earth that can question whether I consider myself a black man or not. Being an actor is a profession like being an architect. They're not defined by race. However, if you define your work by race, that is your prerogative. So doubling down on his pushback on woke Hollywood. And one of the things that this all reminded me of, it's actually a conversation from Morgan Freeman from years ago, over a decade ago, that he had on 60 Minutes. When he was asked about Black History Month, he was asked about racism, and he had a very interesting response that the white man who was talking to him didn't really expect. We're going to listen to this. It's about a minute clip, but I think it goes really along the lines of similar things to what Idris Elba is talking about.
Black History Month, you find
ridiculous.
why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? Well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
The question stands, though, right? The question stands. He was basically left speechless by that question. I forgot that part was in the opening, but that's pretty funny. Let's continue.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
Like, it's as easy as that. Stop letting it control you. Stop talking about it. Stop pretending like everybody's a fucking victim. Stop pretending like it should be celebrated when someone, just because their skin color does this or that or that. Stop being so divisive. But that's what Hollywood is pushing. It's what we've been talking about. They're shoving it down people's throats constantly over the past several years, over the past decade. And some people are playing right into that. Some people who want to be victims, like John Boyega. Some people who know they probably don't have a career if they can't be victimized somehow, like John Boyega. Whereas someone like Idris Elba is saying, I'm tired of this stuff. I'm tired of people saying, what is your experience like because of this, because of that, because of that? Oh, you should do this because you'd be the first black person to do this. No, I just want to be an actor. I just want to act. So he is doubling down on his comments after getting slammed by some of his fellow actors in woke Hollywood. You gotta love it. Again, reminds me completely of that Morgan Freeman clip. Idris Elba not backing down from the woke mob.